Think the league might enjoy Lakers Warriors 7-8 in the play-in? That's a meme. Did you know Beal had 50 before it tipped tonight?
Of course I did.
Okay. Did you know how many you needed to take the lead?
No, I didn't go that level. I watched everybody in the league. I know what he's doing. He's obviously been playing at a high level. But anytime somebody gets 50, you hear about it.
Did you think about it at all from a scoring title perspective, or just, hey, Bradley Beal got 50?
That is a second thought for sure.
16 Western Conference Finals, but like 1/14th of that. Yeah, Steph Curry averaging 38 points over 2 games against OKC this season. Wow, if only they could have held him to that, they really would have locked him down in defense. In the first quarter, he goes berserk. He's at 9 points, and then a three-pointer from Draymond Green. He's at 14. I'm doing this without a counter, by the way. Curry, pulls that one. 33rd career 20-point quarter. Only Kobe Bryant, 36, has more in the last 25 years. They were up 25 at the half. That was 24 in the first quarter, 3 in the second quarter for 27. And then he comes back out, shoots a 30-footer. That's good. One more time. Like, guard him at the logo, otherwise he's going to make it. But you figure, okay, we make it there. Let's go back even further. Here's 32 feet.
I mean, you were saying other guys get benched for doing it.
10 years ago, everybody would have gotten benched. Draymond, there you go. Give it to Curry. There you go. That's an assist off his shin. So 24 points, 3 in the second, 22 in the third, for a total of 49. Fourth quarter, Steph Curry, DNP, didn't play. 49 in 29 minutes of burn, 11 of 21 from 3, 8 20-point quarters this season. The Warriors win it going away. The man is transcendent when shooting the basketball. He has 12 career games with 11 or more three-pointers, most by any player, and 2 shy of the all-time record of all the other players combined. So that's it. Here, we'll make it quick. Who's got more than 11 three-pointers in a game? Steph, 12 times. Rest of NBA, ever, history, forever. Bird, all the S of those guys, 14. Done.
Let's run through the latest around the association. Time for quick takes. Let's go. Stephen A., how dangerous are the Warriors in the play-in?
They are incredibly dangerous because they have the guy that is the greatest shooter God ever created, and the guy that I believe is playing the best basketball of anybody in the NBA right now is Steph Curry. At any given moment, he can drop 50 and win a game for you. That's why they're dangerous.
Chef Curry with the shot. Good day. Welcome into First Take on a Feel Good Friday. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, I'm Molly Karam Rose. Gentlemen, you know where I am starting. The Lakers cannot catch a break. Anthony Davis missed 2 months with a calf and an Achilles injury. He led the Lakers to a big win over the Denver Nuggets on Monday. Now without LeBron, but he suffered another setback Thursday. Early in the first against the Clippers, he went up for a 3, fell back awkwardly, stayed in for a few minutes, then ultimately left the game with back spasms, but it appears he hurt his ankle when he fell. Now, we also heard LeBron James say earlier this week he's not 100% and doesn't know if he ever will be. He's out with a high ankle sprain, expected back next week. Stephen A., how far can LeBron and Anthony Davis take the Lakers?
I'm scared right now. I'm scared for the Los Angeles Lakers. I want to put the basketball world on official notice. I don't even know if the Lakers are getting past the play-in game.
What?
I don't even know if the Lakers are playing the play-in game.
Wow.
They don't look good. They don't look good. They don't look good at all. Anthony Davis, listen, we all know when healthy, the guy is all world, but everything that can happen seems to happen to him. It was his calf injury, then it looked like it was his ankle last night, early in the first quarter, and then after that we hear that it's back spasms, for crying out loud. LeBron James comes back, he plays, he says he'll never be 100% again. I believe that's hyperbole. I don't believe him for 1 second, but he could be talking about, I'm not going to be 100% again this season. I'm looking at the fact that Rondo is no longer there. He's on the other sideline with the Clippers. Even though Dennis Schroeder, the bottom line is they're better offensively with him on the court, but porous defensively when he's on the court. They're better without him defensively. Kyle Kuzma, it's like bipolar disorder, for crying out loud. He's scoring 1 minute, the next thing you know, he disappears for 3 quarters. I'm very concerned about the Los Angeles Lakers from that standpoint alone. But then when you look at the rest of the Western Conference, I mean, what is there to say? Utah, Phoenix, the LA Clippers, the Denver Nuggets, Portland, you can't sleep on them. Dallas, you can't sleep on them. With Luka averaging 29, 9, and 8. I mean, my God, there are reasons to be concerned about the Los Angeles Lakers. And right now, I am officially in panic mode that the Lakers might not even make it out of the damn play-in game.
Wow, the defending champs. Max, where are you on this?
It is panic time in LA, but I don't think it's because of the playing game, Stephen A., because the odds that they would lose 3.5 games in the standings are slim. So if they do play in the play-in, it will be play-in games, plural. And I don't believe if they were to lose to the Trailblazers or the Warriors, whoever they'd have to play in that first game, that they would then also lose to either the Grizzlies or the Spurs, whoever they'd have to play in that second game. So I think they will be, I'm confident in saying, if LeBron and AD are playing, they will absolutely be in the playoffs. But here's the thing, guys, and this is why it's panic mode. This is why it's panic time. I don't see how they get out of the first round right now, and I'm a Lakers fan. How do they get out of the first round? Because if they do play a play-in or two in order to even get there, or even if they don't, let's say they hold on to the seed they are presently holding on to. They play the Clippers in the first round. Like if they play in the play-in, depending on where they wind up, 7 or 8, they're either playing the Jazz or the Suns in the first round. Those teams have chemistry. They're in lockstep. You're going to just throw everybody together and beat one of those teams? And don't let it be the Clippers. I think that's the worst matchup, Stephen A. Kawhi, they've been load managing again. Maybe not to the extent that they once did, but they're load managing again. He can't play full quarters. In fact, Ty Lue is complaining about how it's messing up rotations and stuff. But he'll be ready. And Paul George will be looking for redemption. And they got Rondo and everyone else you just mentioned. How are the Lakers, who don't have Schroeder until the end of the year, who are even playing without Taylor Horton Tucker? I mean, talk to Lakers, they'll tell you we didn't have a point guard or anything resembling a point guard. No LeBron, no Schroeder, no THT. AD goes down, obviously an ankle. No, back spasms. What? How are the Lakers going to get out of the first round? The first round, that's what I want to know.
Well, listen, that's a reason to be concerned. Let me tell you something. You shouldn't wish for that, though, because that should make us all sick to our stomach. The fact of the matter is that we are owed an encounter between the Lakers and the Clippers with a conference title on the line, and the person that owes us that most is Kawhi Leonard. He is the face of the franchise. He is the star. He is the two-time NBA champion, the two-time NBA Finals MVP. You know what? He came to L.A. with the crown dangling from his convertible, from the mirror on his convertible, driving down the highway in L.A.
He is from California. LeBron's from Cleveland.
I understand all of that, but he came there as a champion, basically saying it's a new sheriff in town. That was his attitude towards LeBron, who hadn't made the playoffs in his first year as a Los Angeles Laker. So LeBron shows up last year. They get through the first round, the second round. They are waiting for the Clippers in the conference finals, and the Clippers had a 3-1 lead and folded like a cheap tent. Bottom line is that Kawhi owes us this encounter. The problem is the Clippers are living up to their end of the bargain. The Lakers at this particular moment in time, albeit due to health reasons, that is not the case. And I think that's a damn shame. By the way, as an aside, can we stop this noise, these people questioning, asking the coach in the press conference, stuff like that? LeBron James wasn't sitting on the bench. He's in his 18th season. He's 36 years of age. He's a reigning defending champion. When healthy, the brother doesn't take days off. He doesn't miss games. And people are sweating the fact that he wasn't sitting on a bench in street clothes. Grow the hell up and make sure we start asking coaches some sensible questions. I don't give a damn where LeBron is. I don't care if he's on Rodeo. I don't care if he's at Venice Beach chilling. I don't care if he's at a massage parlor for crying out. I can care less where he's at.
Well,
as long as the brother is ready to play, as long as he's there when it's time to play, I'm good with it.
Max, you did hear me just say that he's going to be back next week, right? I just want to make sure you both heard that.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I think those questions are pertinent. I think they were good questions, and I think the answers are interesting. Where's LeBron? Is it a medical reason? He said, no, he's just not here. That's 2 games. Now, we may look into that, and I might have even followed up. Coach, is that because the feeling is he needs to do everything in his power to get back physically? Why isn't he here, right? Like that sort of thing. but I do think it's relevant, and I'll tell you why. The Lakers, Stephen A., need obviously LeBron or AD, or there's no chance for a championship, or even to get out of the West. But I want to get back to the Clippers. You just said the Clippers owe us that matchup, and you're right. And I think the Clippers know it too. And who's the key on the Clippers? You keep focusing on Kawhi. Sure, he's the number one guy, he's the main guy, he's the guy who challenged LeBron. But except for Game 7, I don't give him a pass for that against Denver. Fourth quarter, Game 7, you got to show up. He almost always does. Not that game.
Yes.
It's Paul George who needs to step up, and everyone knows it. The Clippers are loaded. In fact, when I look at the Western Conference, the team I think that could give the healthy Nets big three the best run is these Clippers. It's these Clippers. If Paul George steps up, I think he's going to be totally motivated to do that. I don't see how the Lakers beat this Clippers team in their current condition.
I'm sick of people getting on my man Paul George. I got to say this once and for all. Paul George has had games in the postseason, including Game 7 last year against Denver in the conference semifinals. He's had the game that Kendrick Perkins brought up when he was in Oklahoma City with Westbrook against Utah when he scored 5 points in a Game 6 or Game 5. I think it was Game 6, okay? I get all of that. But we act like Paul George never showed up for a game in the postseason. Paul George has had plenty of good games in the postseason. A Game 7 is where your money dude is supposed to show up. Your money dude. You know, in case Paul George doesn't show up. Paul George is clearly the number 2 on the Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is number 1. He's the dude that I'm looking at for a Game 7.
When Jordan lost to the defending champion Pistons way back in the day, why was that because in Game 7, Scottie Pippen, second banana, had a migraine, played 40 minutes, scored, 2 points?
That was before they ever won a championship, Max.
Kawhi, yeah, but they were going to win the championship. If Pippen would have showed up, they would have won it that year. He had a migraine.
You didn't
Paul
know
George
that?
Can't have any migraines.
Guys, we got other big stories we need to get to. Hold that thought. We're going to have more on LeBron a little bit later because someone on this show says LeBron James is on the decline, and he's going to have to answer for
it. Ain't me.
Oh.
I ain't say that.
Spoiler alert.
Please,
other people are joining us. He didn't say it, Cliff.
He said it
All right, the Lakers are 1-7.